Welcome back to Super Rare Coins. Imagine finding a simple coin in your pocket that could be worth hundreds of thousands of dollars. Sounds unbelievable, right? Today, we're uncovering three rare and valuable coins that look completely ordinary but hold incredible hidden value. Make sure you watch till the end because you might already have one of these treasures in your collection. Top 1. The 1776 to 1976 Washington quarter with no mint mark. This bicentennial quarter was created to celebrate 200 years of American independence, and while millions were produced, there are a few rare examples that have stunned collectors and shocked the auction world with their unbelievable value. At first, this coin might not look very special. It still features the familiar portrait of George Washington on the front, a design that has been part of American currency for decades. However, instead of a single year, you'll notice something unique. The date reads 1776 to 1976, marking the bicentennial of the United States. On the reverse side, instead of the traditional eagle, there is a special design featuring a colonial drummer boy, along with a torch surrounded by 13 stars, representing the original colonies. Now here's where things get really interesting. Most of these bicentennial quarters were made in huge numbers and are only worth their face value or slightly more. But the rare variety we are discussing today is the one with no mint mark, meaning it was struck at the Philadelphia Mint. While that alone is not unusual, certain rare error versions and high-quality strikes of this coin have become extremely valuable, especially when found in circulated condition with unique characteristics. When we say circulated in very fine condition, it means the coin has been used in everyday transactions. It shows visible wear, scratches, and signs of handling, but the main details are still clear. Normally, circulated coins are not worth much. However, in rare cases like this, specific minting errors or unusual features can turn an ordinary-looking coin into a collector's dream. Some of these valuable quarters have been discovered with striking errors such as double dies, off-center strikes, or even being minted on the wrong type of metal planchet. These errors make the coin extremely rare because they were not supposed to happen. When collectors find such unique pieces, the demand skyrockets, and so does the price. There have been reports in the coin collecting community of certain 1776, 1976 no-mint mark quarters reaching astonishing values in auctions. In exceptional cases, coins with rare errors, strong details, and historical significance have been valued as high as $500,000. Yes, you heard that right. $500,000 for a single quarter that many people might overlook in their spare change. The reason behind such a high value is a combination of rarity, condition, and collector demand. Coins from the bicentennial era already carry historical importance, but when you add a rare error or unique striking feature, it becomes a one-of-a-kind treasure. Collectors are always searching for these hidden gems, and they are willing to pay huge amounts to own them. Another factor that adds to the value is the story behind the coin. The bicentennial celebration was a major event in United States history, and coins produced during this time were meant to be special. Owning a rare version of such a coin is like holding a piece of history that connects directly to that celebration. If you are wondering whether you might have one of these valuable quarters, there are a few things to look for. Check the date carefully to confirm it reads 1776 to 1976. Then look for the absence of a mint mark, which should be just below the date. After that, examine the coin closely for any unusual features, errors, or differences in design. Even scratches and wear can sometimes help identify a rare circulated piece, especially if they highlight underlying minting anomalies. It's important to remember that not every bicentennial quarter will be valuable. In fact, most are still very common. But the possibility that a rare and valuable version could be hiding in plain sight makes coin collecting exciting and rewarding. Many people have discovered valuable coins in old jars, drawers, or even pocket change. This is why collectors always say, never ignore your coins. What looks like an ordinary quarter today could turn out to be a life-changing discovery tomorrow. The thrill of finding such a rare piece is what keeps the world of coin collecting alive and growing. Top 2. The 1982 Lincoln Memorial Penny with no mint mark. A coin that may look ordinary but could hide an extraordinary value. The 1982 penny is already special in United States coin history. This was the year when the composition of the penny changed from mostly copper to a zinc-based core with a thin copper coating. Because of this transition, several different varieties of the 1982 penny were produced, including small date and large date versions, as well as coins struck in both copper and zinc. Among these, the large date version with no mint mark has become one of the most talked about coins among collectors, especially when unusual characteristics are present. At first glance, the coin features the familiar portrait of Abraham Lincoln on the front, a design that has been used for decades. On the reverse side, you'll see the Lincoln Memorial, a symbol of American history and pride. The coin with no mint mark means it was produced at the Philadelphia Mint, which did not use mint marks on pennies until later years. While millions of these coins were made, only a very small number have the rare features that can push their value to incredible heights. When we describe this coin as being in circulated, fine condition, it means the coin has been used in everyday transactions. It will show noticeable wear, scratches, and signs of age. The details on Lincoln's face and the Lincoln Memorial are still visible, but not sharp. Normally, coins in this condition are not considered highly valuable. However, this is where the story becomes exciting, because certain rare variations can completely change the value of even a worn coin. The real value of a 1982 large date penny with no mint mark lies in the possibility of minting errors or unusual production features. During the transition year, the U.S. Mint was adjusting materials and processes, which led to a number of mistakes. Some pennies were struck on the wrong planchettes, while others may show doubling in the design, off-center strikes, or differences in weight. These small details might go unnoticed by the average person, but to a collector, they are incredibly important. For example, one of the most famous and valuable types is when a large date design appears on a copper plancher instead of zinc, or when the coin has a clear and strong doubling effect in the lettering or numbers. These types of errors are extremely rare because they were not meant to happen, and most were caught before leaving the mint. The few that escaped into circulation have become prized collectibles. In today's auction market, there have been reports and discussions among collectors about rare 1982 Lincoln Memorial pennies with no mint mark, reaching values as high as $300,000. This kind of price is only possible when the coin has a combination of rarity, a unique minting error, and strong collector demand. Even in circulated fine condition, a coin with the right characteristics can attract serious attention from buyers willing to pay huge amounts. Another important factor is the story behind the coin. The year 1982 represents a major turning point in U.S. coin production, making it historically significant. Collectors are always drawn to coins that mark important changes, and this adds to the overall appeal and value. Owning such a coin is like owning a small piece of history that tells the story of a transformation in American currency. If you are wondering how to check if you have one of these valuable pennies, start by looking at the date carefully. Make sure it reads 1982 and then confirm that there is no mint mark under the date. Next, examine the size of the numbers to identify whether it is a large date variety. After that, weigh the coin if possible. Copper pennies weigh about 3.1 grams, while zinc pennies weigh around 2.5 grams. This small difference can make a huge impact on value. Also, take a close look at the coin's surface. Look for doubling in the letters or numbers, unusual textures, or anything that seems out of place. Even scratches and wear can sometimes highlight underlying errors that make the coin unique. If you suspect your coin might be special, it's always a good idea to have it checked by a professional coin grading service. The most exciting part about coins like this is that they can still be found in everyday places. People have discovered valuable pennies in old jars, coin rolls, and even loose change. This means that anyone, anywhere, could potentially find a hidden treasure without even realizing it. Top 3. The 1952 wheat penny with a D mint mark, a coin that, at first glance, looks ordinary but has amazed collectors and auction houses with its staggering value. The 1952 wheat penny is part of the iconic series of Lincoln cents that were minted from 1909 to 1958. These coins are instantly recognizable by the portrait of Abraham Lincoln on the front, and the reverse side features 2 stalks of wheat, a symbol of prosperity and growth in early 20th century America. While millions of these coins were produced during that era, a few rare examples, like the one with a D mint mark from Denver, stand out because of subtle variations and historical significance. At first look, this coin might seem like any other penny. The D mint mark, located just below the date, indicates that it was minted in Denver. Circulated coins like this one have seen everyday use, which means they may show surface wear, scratches, and minor imperfections. In numismatic terms, this coin is considered circulated with surface wear and scratches, yet these signs of handling do not diminish its rarity or value in the slightest. In fact, the story behind these coins and their scarcity in certain varieties make them extraordinarily desirable. What makes the 1952 D wheat penny so valuable? There are several factors that collectors and experts consider. First, this is a large date variety, which means that the numerals in the date are slightly bigger and more prominent than other variations. Small differences like this can significantly affect a coin's value. Second, coins from this era were produced using older minting processes, and small inconsistencies or striking errors can make a coin extremely rare. These errors might include doubled dies, off-center strikes, or minor anomalies in the design that occurred during production. Even though this coin is circulated and shows signs of wear, it remains highly prized because finding one in good condition is very rare. Most pennies from the 1950s have been heavily circulated, lost, or damaged over time, which makes surviving examples with clear features and minimal wear exceptionally valuable. Collectors pay attention to details such as the clarity of Lincoln's features, the visibility of the wheat stalks, and the overall legibility of the date and mint mark. A coin with scratches or surface wear can still be extremely valuable if the essential details are intact. In today's auction market, certain 1952 D wheat pennies in circulated condition with large date features and strong collector interest have achieved astounding prices. Coins like these have been valued at around $400,000, a figure that seems almost impossible for a simple penny, but reflects the combination of rarity, historical significance, and demand among serious collectors. High-profile auctions and private sales have proven that collectors are willing to pay incredible amounts for coins that carry both history and uniqueness. Part of the coin's appeal comes from its story. The 1952 wheat penny represents a period in post-war America when coins were not just currency, but a part of daily life that people held in their hands, saved in jars, and collected with care. Owning a rare version of this penny connects a collector directly to a piece of history, a tangible reminder of an era long past. Coins that survive in excellent form from this time are treasured not only for their monetary value, but also for the story they carry. For those who want to identify whether they might have a valuable 1952 wheat penny, there are a few key points to check. Start by confirming the date and the D mint mark below it. Next, examine the size of the numerals in the date to determine whether it is a large date variety. Then, closely inspect the surface for any unusual features or anomalies in the design. Even minor scratches or surface wear can sometimes highlight hidden characteristics that make a coin more valuable. If there is any doubt, it is always recommended to consult with a professional coin grading service to verify the authenticity and value of the coin. One of the most exciting aspects of coins like this is that they can still be discovered in everyday places. Many collectors have found rare pennies in old coin jars, drawers, or even rolls of change at the bank. The thrill of potentially uncovering a coin worth hundreds of thousands of dollars from what seems like ordinary change keeps the hobby of coin collecting alive and exciting. Even though the coin shows signs of circulation, scratches, and surface wear, its rarity and historical importance elevate it to a status far above its face value. Collectors understand that these coins are not just pieces of metal, they are artifacts of American history, tangible connections to the past that carry stories of daily life, commerce, and craftsmanship from decades ago. So the next time you see a 1952 wheat penny, don't just toss it aside. Take a closer look, examine the date and mint mark, and see if it might be one of those rare coins that collectors dream about. That humble penny could be hiding an incredible secret, a potential treasure valued at around $400,000, proving once again that sometimes the most extraordinary things come in the smallest packages.